Netflix isn't in the business of making movies, nor is it in the business of making series. Netflix is in the business of gaining more attention. Netflix isn't in the business of making movies. Just think about it. Every time you use any product of Netflix, like watching a movie or a series, you need to buy a subscription before it, a yearly subscription or either a monthly subscription. Now, before even you using the product, Netflix is getting the money. What's the real problem for Netflix then? The real problem for Netflix is the cancel button. Now, every time a person cancels their subscription before it even getting over, the thing that happens is that people who usually cancel the subscription before the subscription even ending, they tend not to buy the subscription next month or next year, which can give Netflix a loss as they lose a loyal customer. Now, SaaS companies like Netflix, SaaS means software as a service company. Companies that use software as a service, like they convert their software app or any website into money, is called a SaaS company. Now, apps like Spotify, not apps, companies like Spotify, Netflix, Disney, any subscription based model app is usually called a SaaS company. Now, SaaS companies usually have to tend to keep their customers or any employee instead of just letting them go, because it's better for their more long-term goals and for fulfilling their business goals. One of Netflix's greatest product is its algorithm. Now just see how great its algorithm is. You must have seen any person who has seen Stranger Things, they'll be more addicted to areas that are related to fiction. If you see any person who watches K-drama, they'll be more into the side of anime. Why is that? That's because of the algorithm of Netflix. If you watch any one TV show, you'll mostly get suggestions of the same type of TV shows, so that you will be on the platform for a longer area. And that's why many people recommend Netflix. And many companies or any areas which they make movies, they want to publish their movie or series in Netflix, because they know that there'll be some type of people who love to watch such content, and Netflix will definitely recommend them to their algorithm. Without algorithm, Netflix is just a warehouse with billions of movies. But with algorithm, Netflix is more personal. It makes you have a better experience instead of just scrolling for billions of hours. And now just imagine, you just scrolling through any random website to watch your favorite movie, and for 10 minutes you just keep on scrolling, you don't find anything suitable for you, and then you just give up. This is called decision fatigue, in which you just give up on scrolling something. Instead of finding it fast, you are scrolling for a long time and you can't find anything, which Netflix just removes completely through their algorithm. Now there are many rivals, which so-called rivals, which people say, like Disney or any other companies that people call as a rival to Netflix. The struggles of Disney or any other company that make movies, they have one struggle. Like whenever they invest any type of money on them, like 150 million, 200 million, to make just one movie, they have to hope for it to go high in the market, so that they'll get more money. If they don't get good ROI, return on invest, like how much ever they invested, if they're getting good amount of return, it's good. If it's not getting a good amount of return, it's really bad. You need to work on it. So such companies which invest on one movie and then hope for it to go good on the market, they have to hope for it, and if it goes a flop, then they have a huge loss. And over here, Netflix completely changes the game. Netflix knows which area to invest. They don't see which movies to make, on which movies should they ask the people who make movies to manufacture. They first see that what people are already watching. Now, if the market, like in 2019, the Harry Potter movie was kind of really popular, people used to watch it even more. Netflix noticed this and they started running many advertisements related to Harry Potter. They started giving much more feedbacks about Harry Potter. They used to give more documentaries about the actors of Harry Potter. Why is that? Because Netflix understood their audience. They know how do they think, so that they can be on this platform even more. Netflix's real competitor isn't even Disney. Just imagine, every time in your day of your life, every minute you watch YouTube, every minute you study, every minute you play, every minute you scroll on Instagram or TikTok, is the time you're not watching Netflix. So the real competitor for Netflix is the free time of their customer's life. If the companies, just imagine if the company was so good that you would literally watch Netflix every time you're free, which people really do. They literally sacrifice their hours of sleeping just to binge watch their favorite show on Netflix. Why is that? Why is Netflix so admired among any type of audience? That's because Netflix has made it like that. And that's why Netflix people really recommend Netflix when binging any show, because it has everything for you. Now, I don't know how many people have thought about it, but you must have seen some movies that show original in the side of the sub thumbnail. Now, what does this original really mean? Now, some shows like Marvel, The Friends, The Office, these were really big shows which used to stream on Netflix, and they still do stream on Netflix. But now they have their own streaming channels because they're such a big big show which people really watch. They have their own streaming channel, and Netflix only gets some partial amount of profit out of it. Netflix noticed this and thought of buying some shows that can have a bigger success in the future. For example, you see Stranger Things. Netflix has bought the original version of Stranger Things. So means they have bought the Stranger Things. So every time they can't make their own streaming area where they can stream on Stranger Things. They can only stream it on Netflix. All of the season is over. I'm just saying how it works. And there are many other original which Netflix has bought, and they have gone blockbuster. Some of them have not, but many of them have. And if they have gone a blockbuster, they may have or may not have made a stream for themselves. If they would have made a stream for themselves, then Netflix would not get much of the profit, and then the business would be really fragile. And this is what Netflix really worked on. If Netflix kept depending on such shows or such movies, they would be a fragile business and they would not be paid much attention. That's why you see seasons like Wednesday or any other series or movies are bought in an original way so that they can't stream anywhere else. That is why Netflix is ready to pay even billions to buy an original film if they think it's going to have a blockbuster hit in the future. Now, after what all we discussed, what is actually Netflix's real financial engine? From where do they actually get major of the money for their company? Now just imagine a company like Disney. I just gave the same example a few minutes ago. Whenever they make a movie, they spend 150 million or more than that. That's just the minimum rate for making a good movie for Disney. Now if it goes flop, if it's a flop film, they have a huge loss because of less ROI. If it goes a blockbuster hit, it's a good ROI and they have a profit for the company. But now if it doesn't, then they have to face a huge loss, even though after all that investment they had to pay for and all the hard work which they had to do for. But Netflix is a completely different way. Now just imagine Netflix is filled with so many TV shows, so many series, so many movies. Even if one of them really flops, there are many other movies too or many other series too that will cover it up, and it won't really be much of a loss. Even if they invest a lot on it, they can cover it up by other things. As the customers are already paying for the subscription, they already have the money to think about their future business goals, to invest on better things and for a better financial stuff for their companies. This is why Netflix changes the game completely. Now Netflix isn't the one doing the same thing. Even Spotify does it in a similar way, but then it's just songs and Netflix's movies and series. SaaS companies like Netflix or Spotify really need to focus on KPI. Now what's a KPI? KPI means Key Performance Indicator. This is an indicator that shows about what's important for your business and what's not. It's technically depending on what you need. For example, if I have a social media account, then my goal is to get more engagement. Like if I'm showing any product for selling, for me more is my engagement. How much is the audience engaged in my content? So I need to focus on that. Now I won't really focus on followers and all that because that's not the main goal of mine. It really won't affect my business. Now things that don't really matter for your business but really look good is called a vanity metric. For example, this is the example I just now gave you. Follower count won't really be important for me if my goal is engagement. So means follower count will be a vanity metric. Meanwhile, comments, likes, reposts are a KPI for me. And that's the thing which many companies need to understand. Even though follower count or something looks really good, you can't just call it your KPI, because only if it's affected to your business, only if it's connected to your business, if it's going to help you in your business, it's a KPI. Other than that, it's a vanity metric. So the same thing Netflix does. In Netflix, it's not followers, reposts or comments. For Netflix, it's how many series are watched. What is the most of the audience watching, and how many times are they rewatching the episode, how many times are they clicking rewind 10 seconds after, how much the audience like, what type of content do they like. These types of things are the KPIs for Netflix, so that they can work on their business, because these things are connected for improving their business. If they can understand their audience more, then they can improve their app more or company more, so that people are more connected and stay on the platform for a way longer time. After all this, we do get to know that Netflix didn't just casually grow. Netflix grew because they understood that entertainment isn't about making good movies, good series, or good content. It's about making living feel more hard to get. Just like you see, Netflix is so good at keeping the audience on the platform for a longer time. This is what it makes living feel more harder than just coming on the platform. And this is why Netflix is so good at keeping the retention of the platform really good. And by the end of this video, we all know how can we also have a better retention if you have a SaaS company. Retention economics is really important for any company if you tend to keep your customers even more. And if this video helped you understand, then please like and subscribe and follow for more such content. Thank you.